space. And so that infrastructure is present in Vista, and Microsoft actually has plans in terms of how we roll out our own drivers to leverage that, but there are also third-party opportunities there.
Absolutely.
The other thing that you started to touch on is that there are a lot of ways to get a lot of requirements that have forced people to get into the kernel today. There are also a lot of APIs that allow manipulation of the kernel that we need to really audit and lock down. And we've done some of that in Vista. That's an area where we probably have more to do beyond Vista, but we've made a lot of effort and headway in Vista. Really, a lot of what I've covered here in Vista I think about as well as set a very good foundation for enabling third parties to improve the security of their code, but it's also set up the system pretty nicely for future enhancements as well.
Excellent.
Yeah, so maybe we'll wrap up. This is going to be the longest Channel 9 video ever, Charles. But, so just to sum up then, so we talked about reducing attack surface, everything from networks to the window shattering attacks. We talked about reducing privileges, that even if an attack gets through, the amount of damage that can be done is reduced. We talked about improving accountability and auditing, so if something happens, you have a better idea what's going on, you know what's running on your system, and applying those three principles across everything from kernel to drivers to services all the way down to user mode.
Right.
Wow.
So
very interesting.
He's been a busy guy.
Yeah.
There have been a lot of busy people, yes, and it's been great working on it.
Now I notice you have an awful large number of patent cubes.
Yes.
So, I mean, have you always been working on security algorithms and security world? I mean, you mentioned earlier you were on one of the first security teams at Microsoft.
Yeah, so I have been focused on security for a long time at Microsoft, and most of the patents are in the security space. I do have some in some other spaces beyond security. So, for example, in the file system, we built an encrypted file system in Windows 2000. There was a lot of good innovation around that. We've done things around preventing attacks against paging in the operating system. Vista, for example, includes a feature that allows people to turn on encryption of the page file. That's one of those kind of obscure features that you wouldn't normally hear about. There really is a laundry list of small, security features in Vista that people actually haven't really heard about yet. You've heard a lot about UAC and some of the other
that's what people see.
Yep.
Right.
But there are a lot of really good small changes. We've turned on NTLM v2 by default in Vista. We've rid the world of the weak LM protocol by default in Vista. That's been a long time in the running. Some of the other areas I've looked at are memory management, how we can improve security there. But I've primarily been involved in security, and it's a constantly evolving, fun space.
It must be one of those spaces where we interviewed Soma recently, the vice president who runs the whole developer division stuff, languages, Visual Studio, etc. And one of the things he mentioned was a common theme in this industry is that it changes so fast. And you always have to be learning. So I asked him, how do you want to be a VP? Like, what do you have to do to be a VP? And one of the things he says was you have to learn a lot all the time and be passionate about learning. So what I'm saying is that in the security space, because of what you guys deal with on a daily basis, you have to be on guard and ready to learn pretty much every day. Learn something new every day, because hackers, trust me, hackers are going to try to figure out a way to bust the model that you've just drawn up there, and they're going to want to rip the onion to pieces, and they're going to put all their effort on trying to do it. So it'll be very interesting to see how Vista does. I think it'll do well.
Yep.
But the point is, you have to keep learning and learning and learning. So I would imagine those queues are going to keep on growing.
Yeah, there's no shortage of new ideas. Talking about the futures, I could go on for several hours about that.
Well, that's
got a
fun.
lot in mind. Yeah,
it's awesome. I wish we could.
Thanks a ton for your time.
Sure,
it was great. And thanks for helping us build a more secure Windows.
Totally,
yep, absolutely,
much appreciated. And we'll come visit you guys again soon to talk about the next iteration.